Welcome to another Age of Empires 4 casted game. We have here in the color teal playing as the Ottomans. It's a Chinese name that I cannot read. It's just called the Ottoman guy. And in the color purple playing as the English, it's Divine. Now Divine is really popular for his English builds because he usually builds a base. He builds like a 2-town center or even 3-town center sometimes, goes for the White Tower, goes for the Berkshire. It has the untouchable base. And let's see if he will do that now. I'm putting the villager count on top just so that you can see what these players are doing. And yeah, let's see how the Ottomans handle this, because it's really a strategy that has worked for him many times, and we're talking about these high level players like Conqueror 3, 2000 Elo. So it actually works to play really defensively. So let's see if that's the strategy he will use today. Usually he does it, so maybe we will see that. See the military school coming for the Ottomans. Interesting choice, just because when you're against the English, the military school on the Dark Age doesn't provide as much value as against other civilizations, just because when you walk here with your spearmen, your villagers, English villagers, have arrows, so they can easily kill your spearmen with enough numbers. And you cannot kite them because they will shoot from distance. Not only that, but their town center is a machine gun, and this gold vein, it's in range of the TC. So usually, as the Ottomans, when you are against the English, you don't really go for early military school just because you cannot get value instantly. But looks like he knows about this and he decides, you know what, I'm just gonna put the military school here and I'm just gonna put my units in my base just so that I can have some mass when the time comes. I already have some military units, which is great. It's really fun to play the Ottomans just because it forces you to have this constant unit production. And I remember when there was a time I was playing a lot of Ottoman games, I really had this bad habit of not producing military units. And after playing the Ottomans, I realized how important it is to always have someone there to defend your base or even attack. Like, there's always someone available as the Ottomans, and I learned that lesson when playing the Ottomans, and after that I just put more emphasis on military production when I play other civilizations too, just because it's, you know, you need to have military to win this game. So it's always a good idea to create military, even though you're not really sure when you're gonna use it. Hopefully someone will come to you, someone will attack you, and you're not gonna like it. And we see the Council Hall going for Divine. Interesting choice here. I'm thinking going for King, I believe, before. For the Abbey of Kings, just to have that knight harassing your opponent. Well, let's see. Maybe he won't play very defensively now. One thing we did see was an early wheelbarrow. So he's having a blast. He's having a very economic build, actually. Having early wheelbarrow, slow HAP. He's like taking his time. He's doing really good. And while the Ottoman twin-minute bedrest will be finished soon, one of the best landmarks in the game by many, just because you have this constant food source, and these berries actually you get more gathering speed from them. So it's like you have this safe food near your base that you can have forever, which is great. Actually, it's great. If you think about it, it's like having 4 or 3 farms. Depending on how much economic upgrades you will get, you need to reduce the number of villagers you have here, just otherwise the berries will run out and you need to wait them to refresh. early war walls going for the Ottomans. Looks like he's also playing very defensively here. Classic villager, wondering, why am I doing this? Walls also coming from Divine. Starting his farm transition. Looks like he's gonna be on the aggressive side this time. We won't see the classic Divine impenetrable fortress here this time. It's just enough longbows, a couple of spearmen just to deal with the Sipaki, and you should be good to go. Now barracks going out for the Ottoman player. Interesting choice, just because maybe he just wants to upgrade this spearman. It's because these are Dark Age spearmen and you cannot upgrade from the military schools, so looks like there won't be a second TC coming for the Ottomans now, or any military school just yet. You need to be scout just so that you can intersect the army, and at this point you really need the Sipaki. Sipaki, one of the best units to deal with a longbow, well, any kind of archer really, just because of their long range and their buff, where they can really increase the damage they do. You see the Vizier point going there. Actually, I would like to see the Vizier points here. Like how many he has. Or what choice he made. I'm not really sure how you will put it in the UI. If I'm honest with you, this one is a little bit tricky. Like John Dark Experience, very easy. Olive Oil, very easy. What else you wanna see? It doesn't come to my mind now. Oh my god. Scout on the range of the villagers. Longbows managed to attack the villagers. Hopefully for him, he doesn't look any villagers. Should try to get textiles anytime soon. Whenever your opponent is here, textiles really worth a lot of... it's a good investment. It's only 25 gold. You lose one villager, but in reality, you may save more than one villager if you just have it, so it's worth it. We see a fast castle coming from the Ottoman player. English already with 11 units here. Not thinking about going castle age anytime soon. And the thing about this unit composition from the English is that the Magonel is the perfect counter here. The Magonel will deal with everything that Divine has. And this will force him to leave the base. Because if he cannot get any kind of value from here, you know, he won't be able to... he will lose his army eventually to a Magonel. So this is a base that is really safe after he just age up. And the good thing is, because you have military school, at least you have some units to tank the damage. It's like the walls went down. Divine tried to get a goal, but he already relocated the villagers. He knows he won't have any gold now, but it doesn't matter because the llama will be finished soon. Castle Age going for the Ottoman. Managed to get one villager killed though. +1 range defense coming for the Ottomans now. And the problem is, what do you do with this spearman? And man-at-arms go here to save the day. No +1 range armor yet, so they're gonna get a lot of damage from those longbows. They're gonna take a lot of damage, but you will see the Magonel coming soon here. Sipaki running away, managed to stay away. Maybe we'll go for a raid here. Divine actually pushing with more units. He's not retreating. It's like, no worries, I'm just gonna put a tower here. And you know, try to stop your opponent from taking the map control, because he don't have infinite resources. But you know, now the man-at-arms, they're taking 5 range armor, meaning those longbows are only making 2 damage per hit. So they're gonna tank a lot of damage. You still need more man-at-arms here. otherwise, you know, the numbers are not in favor of you. Spearman actually doing work against those man-at-arms. Kind of remind me of the Battlegrounds mod I was playing. Like, you really appreciate how, you know, Spearman and, you know, low quality units can actually stay there to tank the damage. But anyway, man-at-arms ran out for the Ottomans. That's not a problem because the Magonel is coming soon, and as the English, you don't have the Springles to take them down. So it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really, really hard. Magonel coming anytime soon. Let's take a look at the English base. Farm transition, beautiful. Now that's the English dream. Pressure your opponent and having farm transition at the same time. That's the strength of the English, is like they don't need to go out to hunt for food. They can stay in their base really safe. Magonel shot managed to get a decent shot here. Look at the HP of those units. That's a lot of damage. And now with the man-at-arms, Mether will go down. Unfortunately, that's a huge loss for the Ottomans. You don't want to lose that unit. Looks like this outpost is gonna go down pretty soon. Meanwhile, more military schools. I don't like this position. They are very exposed. Take a look at the range of the DC. You can take down these military schools, put a couple of rams here. You're already in a lot of pressure. But you know, you don't have much space in your base, so you really have no choice. You have to put it here. And the Ottoman player sees this. Divine. Already macroing to go Castle Age himself. You don't wanna risk losing that Longbow mass against a Magonel. They already have very low HP. Some units. And you have the man-at-arms here. So I'm just gonna do a wonderful job against all this army. It looks like Divine will have to retreat. On the meantime, the King's Palace will go up. It's gonna be catching up on the economy. Remember, the King's Palace acts as a second town center, which is great. As the English, you don't really need to spend on a second TC. You can just go Castle Age and you have one for free. And now the Magonel shot. Didn't get anything. But the problem with this army is that there are too many Longbows, so they can kite the man-at-arms. There are already 16 man-at-arms already, so Divine already in Castle Age. Gonna get better and see for those archers. It's like he will go back to his base to stay safe. He doesn't need to risk anything. Doesn't need to risk. The units managed to get decent damage here, the Ottomans. And now the crossbows will be into the mix. Magonel shot to only one guy, poor guy here. And now veterans going for the Longbows, increasing their damage. Now they will do quite decent damage, actually 4 each hit. So they're gonna do a really good, see, much better unit now. Looks like the Ottomans will retreat with the Magonel. I managed to get... I tell you what he did here. He did an attack ground. And he suspect he was going into that direction and it actually worked. So wonderful job by the Ottoman player. Still having quite a lot of man-at-arms. Now that's a lot of villagers on gold. I don't think we will see an Imperial Age, right? Relics are being captured. One already on the Ottoman base. And with 2 Magonels. What can you do here, really? What can you do? It's nothing like the Magonel. Really, this landmark is so good. It basically guarantees you that you won't die in the Castle Age just because you have a Magonel. You know, more Magonels coming. At this point, Divine should be thinking about the Springle. More archery units. More man-at-arms to tank the damage for Divine, and also crossbows into the mix. Be pretty okay dealing with this army. But the problem is the Magonel. Misses a shot. He needs to keep kiting. Sipagi gonna connect with the archers. Managed to get a decent damage here. But looks like that Sipagi numbers will go down. Man-at-arms are already here to save the day. +1 melee armor coming for the Ottoman. No range units for the Ottoman now that I think about it. But technically you have the Magonel. Magonel shots managed to miss by yeah, just a little bit. Divine took down one Magonel. Gotta be careful not to lose this one. Another one will come soon. Come soon. Don't worry. It's here. Gonna be only melee composition for the Ottomans. Already sitting with 4 military schools. Economic upgrades just going for the Ottomans. He needs to catch up. Let's take a look at the income per minute. I'm sorry, it's been 60 minutes into the game. We haven't seen the income per minute. Like Divine sitting in 2.3k resources a minute. Ottoman sitting in 1.4, 1.8, 2k. So he's behind around 300 resources per minute. But remember also, he has the military school, so you can think about them as passive income. So in reality, his income is much more because he's able to afford these units at no cost. And the longer the game goes, the better it is for him. Good raid coming from Divine. Unfortunately, the Ottoman Divine managed to leave just on time. This could have been a disaster for him. How many villagers we have here? 6 villagers. It's like the Ottoman will have to retreat here. Meanwhile, more army gathering here. 3 relics are ready for the Ottomans. It's like he wants that relic, but the problem is all the army is here. Where is the other relic? Oh, he's already taking it back home. 4 relics. It's quite good. It's a quite good thing to have. Outpost gonna be built here to protect the gold, but Sipagi are already there to raid. Unfortunately, not many villager kills for the Sipagi, and they will get a decent damage from the TC here. Sprinkles already there for Divine. You need sprinkles if you're gonna fight against the Ottoman player. You need sprinkles. Look at this, 2 Magonels. At this point, the Ottomans should also build their own sprinkles, just in case. You don't want to miss your Magonels. Here, PC your point. See what he did good. This was it the Janissaries? It wasn't the Janissaries. Sipagi is just there on the field. Looks like they will do it with those spearmen. These are just hardened spearmen, but actually they just turned veteran now. They became strong during battle, just like the movies. They remind actually the power of friendship. They actually became veteran during the fight. Sipagi gonna connect with the Springles here. Divine lose the 2 Springles, leave him with room to use those Magonels without any chance of losing them. Sipagi doing a really nice job on focusing Divine on his base. The problem is only 2 villager kills. When it comes to the economic hunt, Ottomans are not really there yet. Farm transition starting to go soon for the Ottoman player. And now, Magono shot. Does he know about... If he knew about the villagers, he could try, potentially, to just click here. To get a lucky shot, can you imagine? That would be a disaster. But I don't think the villagers will die. They do have textiles, so... Let's take a look if the Ottoman... They don't have textiles, like textiles if for amateurs. Professionals go there with no HP. More Zipagi. Ottoman doing a really good job focusing the English on his base. Well, does Divine know about this? He knows about the army here. Just needs to send his army there. Already have a couple of sprinkles. Ottoman don't have vision here. Darling has his farm transition already. So that's the part where you're most vulnerable. Looks like this army will find the Magonels. Can be terrible. More raids coming here. Gonna connect with already 4 villagers down. Managed to catch up with the villager count. Is he on a second TC? He's not in the second TC, right? Oh, he does have a second TC, of course. Otherwise, he's just gonna get behind. I find that as the Ottoman, the longer the game goes, if you don't like cause a lot of damage to your opponent, you need to go for a second TC yourself because your economy is not that good. Like, I mean, your economy basically relies on military units. Looks like a fight that could potentially... I think the Ottomans will win this fight. Spearmen not in great numbers against those knights and Zipagi. Like, he will have to retreat to his base. Take a look at the military numbers, still even. Still even. The Ghost Magonel. And now we see a keep. That's exactly what you need to do in this map. Remember, this map has a lot of gold in the middle. Enough so that you cannot defend forever. I just cast a game with Papi about that. His opponent just managed to block him entirely from the gold the whole time. But just because there's so much gold, you cannot defend the gold forever. And now knights, now this is a different type of raiding unit. If you have a knight here, things change because the Zipagi don't have much range armor, but the knights do. It's gonna find a keep. Managed to take down one Magonel. Very bad timing for a raid. Cancels the keep here. Looks like he will have to retreat to a safer area. Looks like knights are coming from those military schools. Yes, it is indeed. Knights coming for the military schools. Now that's a lot of villager kills. Oh my god. 30 villagers in total. 14. 15. Divine with a huge resource problem. With what do you do with all those knights in your base? That's the problem of not walling enough. We'll have to go defend, and now the Ottoman is free to put a keep here. Potentially, he could have tried to put it here again. Now the English gonna put an outpost. Like, don't mind me. That's what I can afford, so let's just take that. More lancers here. Like, they will have to fight with the spearmen. Not a good fight for the lancers, unfortunately. But the good thing is, more lancers are coming to your base. Now keep goes up. I would love to see the Great Bombard here. Makes it so good. Now with the keep here, Divine will have to retreat. Couple of knights here. Looks like another raid will go on here. It's just a matter of time. More raids coming into the base. I mean, those raids are relentless at this point. I mean, if you have 3 knights, you can just... Okay, let's just go raid, right? And my opponent doesn't have walls. That's about to change soon. So I can just go on raid the whole time. Alright, 23 villagers killed. More than 20 villagers difference. Almost 30. Like, villagers gonna get caught here. Spearman managed to get inside. The problem is this is not exactly the best raiding unit you could have. A couple of outposts here. Love those outposts to protect, gather the villagers whenever there is a raid coming. Fortified outpost for Divine. No emplacement yet. It's gonna be a decoration basically. And now looks like more villagers will die here. Magona shots to the outpost. Like a spearman at this point. They cannot do much against those lancers. More lancers coming soon. Trebuchet already there, but if he can lose it if he's not careful. There's a lot of crossbow here. More villagers going down. 33 in total. Economy not looking good for Divine. He has a lot of food, but he lacks the gold. He lacks the wood. And now the Ottoman will get into your base. And this is where it starts getting really messy for you. Really messy. At this point, if you don't have the army, what do? You're already on 7 military units. I think this is GG. And indeed, Divine taps out. And the Ottomans showing how good the raiding can be when you have 3 knights.